Hello, Pisces, and welcome to this, your January 15th through January 31st reading and predictions. If you are new here, thank you so much for trusting and clicking on this video. And if you are returning, thank you so much for continuing to support my channel. Please stick around all the way until the end of the video. I have a new special feature that I will be doing at the end of each of my videos, and this is answering a yes/no question. Now, many of us every single day have burning questions that require a yes/no response, and I have a little deck of cards specifically for this purpose. So at the end of the video, get your questions ready and we will dive right in. Let's get into your actual reading here, Pisces. Now, last reading that I did for you, covering the time frame from January 1st through January 15th, indicated that you were having a huge growth period with regards to your intuition. Let me just check my notes here. Yeah, huge awakening into your intuition. There was empathy and compassion coming up for you. But if I'm not mistaken, you may have also had the devil appear, and the devil is our egos. And there is a lot of talk in the psychic community, in the spiritually awakened communities, and so on, about ego and how ego is actually hijacking many of the people who are beginning their spiritual awakenings because they begin to feel like they are in some way superior. Okay. And that is based on ego thinking, that is based on 3D thinking, that everything is a hierarchy. And nothing could be further from the truth. In actual fact, time is irrelevant. Our development is individual. And just because all of a sudden someone had some kind of a spiritual awakening wherein they began to see things differently, they began to hear things, they began to be able to communicate with the unseen world, that does not put them on a higher plane than someone who has not yet experienced that. And it indicated that there was the temptation as you were experiencing this spiritual awakening to begin to see things as hierarchical. And nothing could be further from the truth. So let's dive in, Pisces, to where you are at now. Where are we going? Okay, we're going to go over here. All of these decks were previously cleansed and cleared specifically for your reading, and they were also shuffled. For those of you who are new here, I do not edit my videos. What you see is what you get. If cards decide that they're going to go flying, then I have to get up and go get them. If I stumble over my words, so be it. All right. So you do have the Hermit coming up for where you are at now. And the Hermit, again, is about our spiritual awakening. It's about learning to go within. It's about realizing all is one, that we are all interconnected. It's about beginning to not just say the words about our spiritual development, but also fully integrate them into our lives. So many of us have heard all is one, butterfly effect. Many of us have heard about being psychic and clairvoyant and all of the rest of these colloquialisms. And yet we haven't managed to fully integrate them. So the Hermit coming up for you, Pisces, is asking you to spend a little bit more time in your deep meditations, in your withdrawal from society, in order to be able to fully integrate these new learnings and new experiences that you are now having. Let's move into what you are focusing on. Which deck are we going to? I'm getting called to two different decks. I might be pulling a clarifier for this. Let's just see what comes up. For Pisces focus, that one is on my lap. I'm glad it didn't go on the floor. What else is coming up for Pisces to focus on? Anything else coming up? Okay. So, one of the cards that's come in for you, Pisces, for what you are focusing on is this card. It's the Knight of Swords, and it indicates that there is some fighting that's going on. You're in a bit of a fighting mood. But the other meaning behind this card is also perhaps we are in that process of bumping up against ourselves. As I mentioned right at the beginning, your last reading indicated that as you were experiencing this spiritual awakening, there was also this call towards ego. And so this card is indicating that as you continue to move forward through the latter half of January, you continue with this internal battle, this internal fight of balancing in your own mind your old belief systems with this new spiritual awakening and trying to extricate yourself from the hierarchical thinking, from this thinking that life is about a ladder and that we're always climbing, and that if you actually do reach a higher rung, that it makes you somehow better than somebody on a lower rung. Nothing could be further from the truth. And so this card, this fighting card coming in for your focus, is for you to continue to do this hermit work, going within, in order to be able to resolve this particular aspect of your spiritual awakening, this aspect of all is one. We are all equals, even though we are at different stages on our journey or our path. And the other card that you have for what you are focusing on is the equivalent to the 10 of Rainbows, also known as the 10 of Pentacles. This is a really, really positive card. It's an indication that you have or are achieving success in your given destiny, whatever it is that you've put out there, and that given manifestation that you've been working towards. This could look like moving up or moving sideways in a job or a career. It could look like success with your relationships. It could look like some more success with regards to your financial acuity at investing and making some money for yourself. All of these things are what is encompassed with this world, or with this We Are the World card. The other thing I want to point out is that on this card, you have the world in the middle, you have lots of people all dancing around in it, indicating that we are all equal as well. And it doesn't matter where you are on your journey, all is one. What's really coming up for me, if you're not familiar with it already, Pisces, is do some root chakra work. So each of our 7 major chakras have mantras with them. And the very first one is the root chakra. And the root chakra's mantra is all is one. And you're getting message after message after message, both last month and this month, or last reading and this reading, that this integration, that we are all interconnected, this butterfly effect, is going to be really, really pivotal in your next phase of your evolution here in 3D. All right, let's move into your difficult influences and challenges for the latter half of January. One card sticking out, kind of funny. Not sure if it's actually going to jump or not by the time I get to the end of the deck. That one really flew. That one really has something to say. Let's see if that other one falls out. And it didn't fall out, but as I put everything else together, it did turn sideways and didn't want to go back in. So let's take a look. You have the Page of Wands here in your challenges, and the Page of Wands he's enthusiastic and sometimes may represent travel, may represent philosophical projects. He is the one that overcomes all fears and just barrels ahead with new projects. But this is coming up in your difficult influences. Let's see, can I get this to focus maybe? Not really. This is coming up in your difficult influences, Pisces, indicating that there's some blocks along your way. But the blocks that are along your way with regards to this spiritual development that you're currently experiencing are self-imposed, right? It's and part of that is your belief system of this hierarchical system. And I keep going back to this, I keep harping on it. And although the cards are not specifically going there, intuitively, psychically, this is what I'm picking up is your next big spiritual lesson, Pisces. The other card that you have, yes, the other card that you have in your difficult influences is the Judgment card. I'm just going to flip this light off just for a moment so that this will come into focus for you. The Judgment card. Okay. Now, the Judgment card is the card of basically doing almost like a life review, reviewing what resonates for us versus what doesn't resonate for us in our life to this point, what is working for us, what isn't working for us. It is about these cycles that we go through, the cycles of growth, because the Judgment card is for us to be able to judge where we are at in our lives, right? It's more about us judging ourselves than us being judged by someone external. The Judgment card coming up in your difficult influences is an indication that you may be judging others rather than looking in the mirror. I know that this reading is going really, really sideways and has this heavy, heavy energy. But sometimes heavy energies, the dark night of the soul, these difficult lessons, it's fly season in Texas, and I happen to be in Texas, and there's flies flying around everywhere, driving me crazy. So I do apologize that I keep moving my hair around and so on. Ugh. Okay. So sometimes going through these heavy energies, this dark night of the soul, these experiences of fighting against our own ego that wants to come in and tell us that we're better than someone else, even though the spiritual lesson has said we're not better than someone else, we're just in a different area or a different place on our path. All of these are difficult lessons and they can feel heavy, but when we actually learn them and we integrate them into our lives, then a rebirth can happen. And that's when our belief systems shift as well. So watch for this judgment. This is sitting in judgment of self right now, not sitting in judgment of another. You may have people coming to you right now and judging you. Take that with a grain of salt. Look within. Right? We do have a card calling you to go within with this Hermit card. Go within and determine whether somebody else's judgment of you was justified or not. And come to a true feeling of that for yourself, or true belief for yourself in that. The next cards that we're going to pull are messages that the universe wants you to hear at this time. Okay. Interesting. There are quite a few that have come out. There's one that came out by itself, and then there was 4 or 5 more that kind of got tripped up. 4 more. Yeah, I'm getting told present them all. Okay. Pisces, you are here for a reason. And like I said, despite the fact that this reading was going in the direction of feeling like it was really, really heavy, of feeling like, sorry, there's no fly around me at the moment, and I'm still feeling like I'm being poked in the back of my head. What message do you have for me to pass on to Pisces? Clearly, you are trying to get my attention. Okay. I am getting shown a picture, Pisces, of evolution, basically from the slime and from the mud and from this single organism moving up in through becoming multiple cells being put together. And this full evolution, I did get images of some of the most ancient creatures that are still with us today, including turtle and tortoise and crocodile and alligator, and moving up through and moving in through. And you will probably be familiar with the image of, going from the ape through up into Homo sapiens, and the evolution that goes beyond where we are now. Do any of us really know what that next phase or stage is? No, but we do know that the next phase or stage is this spiritual development, this tapping deep into our brains, of which the vast majority of us only use 8 to 10% of our brain. People who are awakening are beginning to realize that by accessing deeper parts of their brain on a conscious level, they can then do things that may be perceived as supernatural, but they're really not. They are deeply innately human. We just hadn't activated that part of our brain yet. Wow. Pisces, this is blowing my mind that this is like, because that sensation I had that I kept trying to sweep away at the back of my head is gone. Gratitude for coming in and for sharing that message with Pisces. Thank you. Okay. You are here for a reason, Pisces. Calm is not a weakness. This one's really important, okay? Because when the Hermit comes in, a lot of people seem to think, oh, well, it's a weakness if I'm seen sitting around meditating. Some people see it as, oh, well, they're just taking an afternoon nap and they're not doing anything. No. No. Calm is not a weakness. Express your feelings. Yes. Appreciate your talents. And Pisces, the very last message from the universe, is the one that I've harped on at you about, I apologize, since the beginning of this particular reading, about the hierarchical. You're no better than anyone else just because you've had a spiritual awakening. Never judge another. I find it amazing and fantastic and just whatever that you have the Judgment card. And as well, the message was coming through, even though you don't have the devil or the ego or anything coming in, but the message was coming through, not to be judgmental, not to see other people as if they were on a ladder or that this is a hierarchical thing. And then you also got the message, never judge another. So this is really important. I forgot to plug my computer in. Like I said, I don't edit. What you see is what you get. Okay, Pisces, let's move on to what is unexpected for you. Where are we going for unexpected? Oh. Okay. Unexpected for Pisces in the latter half of January. I have to go through the cards one more time. Unexpected. There it is. And it's on the floor. Unexpected for Pisces. Please, is there anything else? There is. That often happens. Yes, meow, meow, Missy. My cat is under my feet. Okay, Pisces. You have two cards here for your unexpected. You have the High Priest. The High Priest and the message of the High Priest is for you to intend and then create. This is about manifestation. This is about coming to the realization about how powerful we really are. Again, going back to that really strange experience I had with being poked in the back of the head and then having that message come through about our evolution. Intend and create. And when you reach that realization, that powerful realization, that we really do have the ability to create our futures, you have the sacred traveler. And the sacred traveler is about moving in a new direction. It's about changing and altering the course of our lives as the direct result of the learning that we receive from traveling in the first place. And whether that travel is lucid dreaming, astral travel, or actual physical travel in the real world, Pisces, travel changes us. It alters us. It teaches us. Move in a new direction. This card coming up in your unexpected, having the traveler in your unexpected, means that as you learn this lesson about no longer sitting in ego, no longer sitting in judgment, as you come to the resolution of this internal fight that you've been having with yourself, you have the opportunity to really, really change and shift and really move your life into its next phase. Beautiful. I'm getting called over here for your final general overall outcome. Oh, don't fall on the floor. It's on the floor. Final general overall outcome for Pisces. I can tell you that one of the cards that came out is the card of feeling like you're trapped. You have to really look at the cage that you think that you might be trapped in. You also have the Ace of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles, new beginnings. Okay. I have your card from the floor. Your card from the floor is the Eight of Swords. I'm going to turn out this light for just a moment. Oops, and I hit the wrong button. No, not that button. Ah, there we go. Okay. This card, the Ace of Swords, Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is a card that shows a character who is blindfolded, who is tied up, and who is surrounded by cards stabbed into the ground, preventing them from escaping. Who caused this? Who caused this person? I'm still playing with my lighting here. Oh, well. Who caused this person to be blindfolded, tied up, and surrounded by swords? Chances are it was them. Okay. The Eight of Swords is a card of us feeling like we are trapped. It's a card of feeling like we've been blindsided. It's a card of us feeling like we can't move forward. Why do we typically feel like this? Well, oftentimes it's because of our own belief systems. So again, I'm going to go back in your reading here, Pisces. Explore your belief systems deeply with this Hermit. There is an internal fight going on in your mind with regards to the way that you are thinking and perceiving of things. Sit in judgment of self, not judgment of others. When you learn these lessons, that's when you come to this realization that you have the ability to intend and to create, and you have the ability to move your life into a new direction. If you still feel like this at the end of January, go back and start over again this process, because there is a belief system somewhere in there that is preventing you from being able to move into this. You have the Ace of the Ace of Pentacles coming in. Now, the Ace of Pentacles, again, I'm going to hit this button so that you can see the picture on the Ace of Pentacles. The Suit of Pentacles is ruled by the element of earth. The element of earth is about real world things, money, jobs, career, houses, all that physical stuff that we kind of need. Ace of Pentacles is about new beginnings. And in fact, it's one of the more positive aces that we have, other than the Ace of Cups, which is about new relationships. But the Ace of Pentacles is about new beginnings, especially with regards to our finances, to our careers. And it's also about new beginnings with being able to see outside of ourselves, see the bigger picture in everything that you do, Pisces. All right. I'm going to wrap up this portion of your reading, and I'm going to move into the last portion, which is your question. So, Pisces, bring your question to mind. If you have a question that you require a yes, no answer to, bring it to mind. You may wish to close your eyes, quietly ask your question in your mind 3 times. Cards, could we please have a card? Yes or no for Pisces question. All right, we have a card that has jumped out for us. I cannot see it yet. I'm going to turn it over. I will see it at the same time you do. Pisces, in response, ask your question one more time. And this is your answer. You're going in the right direction. Okay. Pisces, thank you so much for being here. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. If this video resonated for you, please consider hitting that like button and subscribing to my channel so you'll receive notifications the next time that I go live or the next time that I post a new video. If you are interested in booking a personal consultation with me, all of my contact details are down below. Thanks so much, Pisces.